Oh, I need my coffee. Now I feel alive again. Ooh. Okay, so let's have a look at the concept of aspiration, right? So aspiration is a phenomenon, right, that affects the 40 explosive consonants p, t, and k, right? And in order for aspiration to occur, 3 conditions should be met, right? Should be fulfilled. The first condition is that p, t, k should be syllable initial, right? So they should occupy an initial position in a stressed syllable, right? Now, the second condition is that the syllable where p, t, and k occur initially should be stressed, right? So, stressed syllable, right? And the third condition is that p, t, k should be followed by a vowel. Okay? So, for example, if we take the word let me think, pepper.
Pepper.
Right? Yeah, pepper.
Pepper.
We have a stress, right, on the first syllable. And the second syllable is unstressed.
Pepper.
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 Okay, so you can see here, right, that the first syllable, which is pep, is stressed, right? Because you can see the stress here, right? The stress mark, I mean. And you can also see that p is followed by a vowel. So as you can see, the 3 conditions are met, right? P occurs in a syllable initial position, right? The syllable is stressed, right? And p is followed by a vowel, by e. So, under these circumstances, we can say that p is fully aspirated, right? Fully aspirated. We have an instance of fully aspirated p. Okay. We denote the process of aspiration with a little h, which is the one we have here, right? I don't know if you can see it because it is really very tiny, right? We have a little h there. This is a diacritical mark, right? This is a superscript that we use to denote aspiration, to mark aspiration, right? So we should say pepper, pepper, right? Pe, 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 right? Now, what is aspiration? Aspiration, to put it in simple terms, is a puff of air, right? So that's why we should say pe, 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 right? pe, with lots of air. Pe, pepper, pepper, right? In the same way, we should say, as in the examples from the activity, right? Polly, Polly, and parrot, parrot, right? Okay, Morena, thank you for letting me know. Right? That's why we say pe, pe. Now, what happens in Spanish? Well, if we take the word pepa, right? If I want to have pepas with mate, for example, right? Now, first of all, the division into syllables is different in Spanish, right? We also have two syllables, right? The first one pe, and the second one pa, right? Pepa. Now, have a look at the syllabification in English, right? The first syllable is pep, and the second syllable is just the schwa, right? And this dot signals, right, indicates the division into syllables, right? Okay, so we have pep and the schwa. In Spanish, we have two syllables, but the separation is different. And another difference, right, with respect to English is that in Spanish, pata and ka are never aspirated. That is why it is sometimes difficult for us, right, native speakers of Spanish, to learn how to produce full aspiration, right? Because in Spanish we say pepa, pepa, right? We don't say pepa, pepa. Alcanzamos una pepa. No, we say pepa, right? Pepa. But in English, right, if I want to put on an English accent, I would say pepper, pepper, right? So remember my silly example. Alcanzamos una pepa, pepper, right? P and p, right? So far, so good. Are you following?
Yes.
Great. Now, what happens in unstressed positions? In unstressed positions, pata and ka are also aspirated, but the aspiration is said to be weak, right? It is not that strong. For example, let's take the word potato, right? I need my schwa. Where is schwa? Here. P. Lexical stress. Te. Te. To. Right? Potato. Potato. We have three syllables. We should separate them here, right? P, tate, and O. Potato. Now, what happens with the t here? The t in tate is fully aspirated. It is fully aspirated, right? So I need my little h to signal that. But have a look at the first syllable, p, p, p. You can see that two of the conditions are met, are fulfilled, right? Because p has an initial position in a syllable. It is followed by a vowel because the schwa is a vowel, but the syllable is unstressed, right? So if the syllable is unstressed, pt and k are weakly aspirated. So in this phonetic environment, in this phonetic context, p is weakly aspirated, right? Why? Because we have condition number 2. Sorry, we have condition number 1. P is syllable initial. Condition number 2 is not met, right? Because the syllable is unstressed. And P is followed by a vowel, right? So we can see here that the only condition that is not met is condition number 2. That's why we have weak aspiration and not strong aspiration, right? Is this clear, people?
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah.
When doesn't when like this, when the first syllable doesn't enter in these rules of aspiration, the H, the symbol H, we have to put it when we're writing the phonemics.
No, that's a very good question. Thank you for
Okay.
asking. Yeah,
Okay.
we are going to mark aspiration. We are going to mark just the instances of strong aspiration, right? We can also mark weak aspiration. That is possible, right? Particularly if you are interested in carrying out a narrow transcription, right? And the symbol, the diacritical mark we use to signal weak aspiration is a little h, but upside down. Okay, so we need an upside down h, right? The symbol is not here, but pretend that this h is upside down, right? Let me see if I can find the symbol I need so that I can show you. I need an upside down H. No. So upside down H. So that you can clearly see the difference. Also in notation, right? In phonetic notation. Here. Oh, but I need it to be a superscript. Superscript.
Someone wrote it in the chat.
Yeah.
Maybe you copy paste it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, my computer is really slow because of the meeting. This one. Well, this is not exactly the one I want, but So there, I don't know if you can see my screen. Let me make it bigger. Right? So you see, you need this upside down H, right? Write that as a superscript, as this one. The things that I couldn't get that. Okay? So a little superscript here, and that symbol indicates weak aspiration. This one, this H, this little h, indicates full aspiration. So I'm going to write it here so that you remember. Strong aspiration. Right? Okay? Are we okay now?
Yes, thank you.
Great. It's okay. Remember, please, that this rule, the rule of aspiration, applies to pt and k, right? To those three sounds. Okay? Great. Now let's go back to the virtual classroom. Okay. Let's go to lesson 2 now. So lesson 2 revolves around the phonological system of English. So in this lesson, the phonological system of English will be introduced. The main aim of this lesson is that you can start connecting the sounds of English, phonemes, with their phonemic symbols. You will also learn how to draw these symbols by hand. That is, you will put into practice your fine motor skills, motricidad fina, right? In a way, you will feel as if you're back in primary school, learning how to draw letters. In the same way as an alphabet is a system made up of letters, a phonemic chart is a system made up of the phonemes of a particular language, right? In this course, we will learn the phonological system of General British English. This is, right, the phonological system of General British English. As you can see, we have 3 different sections. We can see 3 different sections. One for vowels, one for diphthongs, right, and one for consonants, right? So here you have what we call pure vowels, right? Pure vowels. Why? Because their quality remains constant, right? So we'd say, for example, E, with the same quality all along. I, 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 ooh, ooh, right? We have the same quality all along the production. Now, what about diphthongs? Diphthongs consist of a vowel glide, right? So we go from one vowel position to another vowel position, right? And I know that you can see two symbols, right? Even so, diphthongs are considered as a single unit, okay? Diphthongs are non-separable, right? So if I ask you, if you see a diphthong, right? And if I ask you, how many sounds can you see here? You have to answer one, right? You have one sound, even though you can see two symbols. I know that, and at the beginning, right, that can sound confusing, right? It is confusing, right? But why? Because that is contrary to expectations, right? If you see two things, you are going to say two, right? The things that diphthongs are considered one single unit, right? And they consist of a vowel glide, right? We go from one vowel position to another. And as I explained last week, I think, the second element is never fully reached, right? The second element is never fully reached. We say, for example, ear, ear, right? The first element is more prominent than the second. Ear, ear, right? I don't say right? But ear, ear, right? Air, air, oh, oh, ow, ow, a, I, I, oi, right? Then we have consonants, right? Consonants, p, b, h, f, v, m. So, let's see what it says here. So this is the phonological system of English, right? And you can see that the phonemes or sounds are organized nicely, organized in a chart, right? For the sake of ease of comprehension, right? Now, every spoken language has its own set of sounds, right? In Spanish, we also have a phonological system, right? In this subject, we are going to study the phonological system of English. And of course, we are going to compare it with Spanish all the time, right? Because Spanish is our mother tongue, our first language, mine as well. A characteristic of this set is that all the sounds within it exist in some sort of relationship to each other, right? Each sound helping to shape the contours and boundaries of its neighbors. I refer to this set as the phonemic chart, as the phonemic set, right, or chart. Because I took this from a book, right, which is Sound Foundations, right, by Adrian Underhill. That's why here you can see the I, right? I is Adrian talking, not me. So this chart shows the phonemic set of English as a complete and consistent system to be worked with as one organic and interacting whole. Right? And why do we use symbols? Right? Why symbols? The symbols used on the chart are taken from the International Phonetic Alphabet, right? And you are going to come across the acronym, right? APA, APA, right? International, that stands for International Phonetic Alphabet, right? So we are going to use the symbols, the phonemic symbols of the International phonetic alphabet, right? These are the symbols for English. Spanish has its own symbols, right, as well. So these are the symbols used by most learner dictionaries, right, and in books, right? So working with them will also help learners develop the skills of finding for themselves the pronunciation and stress of any words in a learner dictionary, right? This is the utility, right? That's why learning phonetic or phonemic transcription is useful, right? Because later on you can check the pronunciation of every word in a pronouncing dictionary, right? Of any word you don't know how to pronounce, right? And remember that you are going to be teachers, right? So every time you have to teach a lesson, right? Prior to going to the lesson, you should check how to pronounce each word correctly, right? Why? Because you are going to be phonological models, right? And I know that mistakes may happen, right? But as you are going to be highly professional, right? You should always check how words are pronounced, even if you think you know how to pronounce words, right? But why? Because sometimes you'll be surprised, right? Hugely surprised, because sometimes you think you know how to pronounce a certain words, and later on you realize that in fact you were wrong, right? That happens to me a lot, right? So it is most advisable that you check your pronouncing dictionary, okay, to be sure. So what we can see here in the phonemic charts are the phonemes of English, right? The phonemes of English. Now, what are phonemes? We may wonder. A phoneme is the smallest unit of sound that can bring about, right, that can produce, that can provoke a change in meaning, a difference in meaning, right? I repeat, a phoneme is the smallest unit of sound that can bring about a change in meaning. So if we change one phoneme for another, we are changing the words, right? For example, let's consider mine, pine, and shine. Mine, pine, and shine. As you can see, these three words rhyme, right? Because the final sounds are the same, right, in the three words. But the initial phonemes are different, right? In the first one we have m. In the first word we have m. In the second one p, and in the third one sh. Right? So if we change m for p, we get pine. Right? If we change p for sh, we get shine. Right? So you see, if we change a phoneme, we get a completely different word. Okay? So that's why it is of utmost importance to learn how to produce phonemes accurately, right? Because if we change a phoneme, we change a word, okay? That's why we need to be very accurate, right, in our production, so that people can understand us, right, when we talk, okay? And in order to avoid misunderstandings, right? So that's why we want to be really precise. And because in your case in particular, because you are going to be teachers, and again, you are going to be the phonological models of your students, right? And you want to be solid phonological models, right? Adequate, right? That's why the idea is that you can sound as near native-like as possible. Okay, we are never going to sound in the same way in which a native does, right? That's impossible. But we should develop, right, this near native-like accent, right? And here you will be trained to do that, right? In this subject and in lab. Okay. So let's have a look at the layout of the charts. The phonemes of General British English are presented on the charts in a significant visual way, visual relationship to each other. Built into this design are references to how and where in the mouth each sound is produced. And so there are many clues in the design that can help in recognizing, shaping, correcting, and recalling, meaning remembering the sounds. So the phonemic chart has three main sections. The vowels are shown in the upper half here. Monophthongs on the left, right? Monophthongs or pure vowels, right? Those are synonyms. Monophthongs or pure vowels. And diphthongs or glides on the left, right? Diphthongs or glides on the left. Those are synonyms. And consonants are shown in the lower half, right? And the colon, right, by 5 of the vowels is a symbol which indicates length, right, or duration. You can see, for example, this symbol is accompanied by 2 dots. This symbol is accompanied by 2 dots. This 2, this 2, and this 2. Why? Because those 2 dots are a length mark, right? They indicate length or duration. That's why we say, for example, E, E, oo, oo, o, o, ah, right? So E, oo, o, are considered to be relatively long vowels, and all the others, the other 7, are considered to be relatively short vowels, right? And then we have diphthongs, right? Diphthongs may also be classified as long vowels. Okay, diphthongs are also classified as long vowels. Okay, I'm saying things slowly so that you can make notes. Okay, because I know that this is all new. So far, so good. Are you following? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Great. So, General British English has 12 pure vowels or monophthongs. You can see them here, right? 12. 7 diphthongs or glides. You can see them here, right? And 24 consonants, right? You can see them here. What is shocking about English, right, is that English has 12 vowels. In Spanish, we have just 5. Okay, so that's why vowels are very difficult to control at the beginning, because we have a huge difference in number, right? So we can say that the vocalic system, if in English, is highly complex, right? Because of the number of phonemes we have, right? In general, languages around the world tend to have 5 vowels, right? So our system is more normal, let's say, right? It's more frequent, right? In comparison with English. Now let's have a look at the difference between monophthongs, diphthongs, and consonants. So whenever we want to describe a sound, a phoneme of English, we have to take into consideration 2 parameters. The first one is the manner of articulation, and the second one is the place of articulation. So manner refers to how each sound is produced, right? Manner refers to how, right? And place refers to where, right? To the place where the sound is produced, right? So manner, how, place, where. Now here you have a chart, right, with the where and the how for each type of sound. So monophthongs, where the distinguishing quality of each vowel is produced by the shape and size of the resonant space in the mouth. This is controlled by the position and shape of the tongue, lips, and jaw. Right, so what we do when we produce a vowel is to change the overall shape of the vocal tracts using our tongue, our lips, and our jaw, right? Mouth, lips, and jaw, lower jaw, right? Because we have 2, in fact, right? But the lower jaw is movable, right? And how? Well, as we saw earlier today, there is no obstruction to the escape of air through the mouth. And they are all voiced, right? All of them. That is to say that the vocal cords or folds, right? Those are synonyms, vibrate in the airflow, right? The thing is that chords is a little bit old-fashioned, right? Now we prefer folds instead of chords. But in Spanish we say cuerdas, right? Cuerdas vocales. Now, what about diphthongs? As for monophthongs, right, the distinguishing quality is produced by the tongue, lips, and jaw, right? They are produced in an exactly exact way, right? They are produced in exactly the same way as vowels, right? Now, there is a difference, right, in diphthongs. The difference is that there is one mouth posture at the beginning of the vowel sound and another at the end. Why? Because we have a glide, right? We have a gliding movement, right? From one vowel position to another vowel position, right? So instead of saying vowel sound, you have to say vowel position, right? So be careful, because we go from one vowel position to another vowel position. Don't use the word sound, right? We go from one vowel position to another vowel position. Okay. So the resulting glide between these two tongue and lip positions gives the diphthong its characteristic two-sound quality, right? Again, you may see two symbols, right? But diphthongs consist of just one sound, right? So, and as with monophthongs, there is no obstruction to the escape of air through the mouth, and they are all voiced, right? In the same way as for vowels, for pure vowels or monophthongs, right? So far, so good?
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Now, what about consonants? Well, the restrictions to the airflow that make the characteristic consonant sounds are made at one of the points of contact between the various speech organs, such as tongue, teeth, lips, roof of the mouth, etc. All consonants involve some sort of restriction to the airflow, except w and y. Why? Because in terms of their production, w and y resemble vowels, right? But they are classified as consonants because of the position they occupy within the syllable. So for consonants, we have many different places of articulation, right? And we'll see them in due time, right? But for example, you have bilabial, right, place of articulation, using both lips, right? For b, for example. That's why we can say that b is a bilabial plosive consonant. Then we can say I don't know, labiodental, right? We have the labiodental place of articulation, right? For example, if you want to produce right, or why is it labiodental? Because I'm using my upper front teeth and the lower lip, right? And right? And as regards the manner of articulation, restrictions to the airflow can be made in various ways, each giving a different characteristic sound. Restrictions can be produced by friction applied to the airflow, right, as in f or v, or by a momentary blocking of the airflow, followed by a sudden release, such as b, right, or p, or t, or k, or g. Or by diverting the airflow through the nose, as in m, right, m, or n, or ng, right? The use of voicing and unvoicing also characterizes consonant sounds, right? Some consonants are voiced, some consonants are voiceless or unvoiced, right? So far, so good? Yeah? Okay. Please stop me if there's something you don't get.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are we going to see each, for example, like by one by one?
Yeah. Yeah. We
okay.
Yes, we have.
No, because
Yeah.
now it's like a lot.
Yes.
Then it's
Right. What I'm doing here is just presenting the system to you, right? The idea is that we see each sound, right, one by one, all along the year, right? This is what this subject is about, right? Learning one sound after the other, right? So, associating sounds and symbols. One of the crucial tasks at the beginning of the course is relating the phonemic symbols and sounds. You will need to correlate, right, to associate the mental auditory image of the sounds with their actual visual or graphic representation, right? You have to make this connection, right, in your minds. So you can use a couple of tools, right, in order to begin establishing this connection. So you can use this app, for example, which is Learn English Sounds Right by the British Council, right? You can download this onto your mobile phones, right? And you will see this chart, right, there. And you can click on the symbol, right? And you can listen to the sound, right? Because that is what you should start doing, right? Connecting symbol and sound, symbol and sound, okay? I know that this will take a lot of time, right? Because this will be a process, right? But you should start, right, making that connection, right, between symbol and sound. This is going to be useful both for dictations and transcriptions, right? You know that in transcriptions, the input is visual, right? Because you are going to have a look at a text, right? And then you will transcribe it using symbols. And in dictations, the input is auditory, right? Because you will listen to a text and then you will transcribe it. That is the difference between transcription and dictation. The nature of the input, right?
I have a question.
Yeah.
When we do the exercise of detection, we have to write the phonemic symbols or the
Right.
letters.
No, you have to use the symbols.
Okay.
The symbols,
Thank you.
right? Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A question too.
Yeah.
The Longman dictionary, is it still like usable, or is it too old? I have the CD-ROM installed, the 3rd edition. I don't know if it's still like.
Yeah, we are going to use the Longman pronunciation dictionary. I don't know the number of edition I have in my computer. I don't know how to see that. But the best possible dictionary you can use is the Longman, right? Pronunciation dictionary. That is the best available, right?
And for transcription, we are going to write the word that someone is saying.
Right. For transcriptions, you are going to have a text, right?
Okay.
I mean, written in letters, okay? And you will have to transcribe that text using phonemic symbols.
Okay.
Okay,
I understand.
great. And in dictations, you are going to listen to a text,
And write with
right?
symbols.
And you will transcribe this text using phonemic symbols,
Okay.
right? That's why, in a way, it is as if you were learning to write again, right? Because you are going to write using different symbols. So it's that, right? Learning how to write again, as if you were back in primary school. That is why this is taught in first year, precisely, right? At the very beginning, right, of your course of studies. Another tool you can use is this one, right? The English Sounds Pronunciation Charts by Oxford University Press, right? Here I'm giving you the link. You can click on the link, right? A new window will open. I wanted to show it to you because I don't know if you had the chance to explore this,
Yeah.
but let me... Oh, I have to wait. But the idea is the same, right? You click on the symbol, right, and you can listen to the sound. And in this one, you will also listen to a sample word, right? For example, if I want to click on the first symbol, right, you will hear I, fish, fish. Suppose you want to click on the second symbol, E, tree, tree. You see, right? You have the sound and a sample word. Look.
Fish.
Okay.
E. Tree. Cat.
Okay, and that is what you should start practicing, right? Making connections between symbols and sounds, right?
Okay.
That's why in this lesson you have homework to do. And the last tool, right? The last resource you can use is this video, right? Let's see if it works. I cannot hear any sound, but I don't know what the problem is. Well, but anyway, you can watch it at home. Let me show you. There. So, you see, this woman presents each symbol first, and then she produces each sound, and she also presents some sample words.
Like peanut, pencil, please.
Okay? Now, the good thing about watching a video is that you can see the different movements, right, for each sound. Okay? Again, in these two, in the app and in the site, right, in the website, the input is going to be auditory, right? But in the video, the input will be audio visual, right? You will listen to each sound and you can also see how each sound is produced, right? That's why when you watch the video, pay close attention to the movements, right, in the mouse. Okay? And I think this video is going to prove useful not only for this subject but also for lab, right? By the way, what are you doing in lab? Who can tell me what it is that you're doing?
We are not having classes. She we receive emails from her, from the teacher.
Right, but you are not having lessons?
No,
I think we are having a lesson, but
but then
like every 2 weeks,
Ah,
I
okay.
think.
Ah, okay. I see. I see.
Like she sends us material every Monday, I think,
Mhm.
and then every 2 weeks we have class.
Okay, okay. Well, with me, you are going to have lessons every week, right? And so this is what I wanted to show you, right? This is your homework. So learning how to draw phonemic symbols, right? You can see a PDF document here, this window, right? This worksheet was designed by Francisco Zavala, right? Who is one of the teachers here at the institution. And he very kindly shared this handout with me. So this document is titled Handwritten English IPA, right? International Phonetic Alphabets. So the idea is that you imitate, that you copy, right? The symbols for each sound, right? That you copy as closely as possible, right? The symbols for each sound, right? That's why you can see a tetragram, right? 4 lines, okay? You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, and we write on the second line, on the second renglón, right? On the second line. Now you have to be really very careful because some symbols have an upstroke and some symbols have a downstroke, right? For example, let's have a look at sh, right? In ch here. This symbol represents the sound ch, 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 right? Again, you can see 2 symbols, but in fact,
there's one sound.
we have 1 sound, okay? 2 symbols, but 1 sound. So, ch, ch, ch. And you can see that sh, right? The second element has both an upstroke and a downstroke. Una patita para arriba, una patita para abajo, right? But you have to be careful with that, okay? With upstrokes and downstrokes. Look, for example, j, j, right? The second element, j, j, has a downstroke, right? A tail, right? Downwards. What about p, for example? P has both a little upstroke and a little downstroke, okay? So you should imitate, you should copy, right, the symbols as closely as possible. How many times? 4 times per symbol, right? So you should draw 4 E's, 4 is, right? 4 U's, right? 4 U's, okay?
Okay.
Right, on the second page, you have the word pronunciation, right? That you are going to copy 3 times on the first tetragram, right? 3 times on the first tetragram. And finally, you have a phrase, right, which reads, don't change these shapes in your own transcription, right? Don't change these shapes in your own transcriptions, right? You'll see that in time, you'll be able, right, to read transcriptions, right, without having texts, right, written in letters, I mean, you'll have texts written with symbols, with phonemic symbols, right? And that last phrase you are going to copy twice, right? On the last two tetragrams. Okay?
Okay.
Is this clear?
Do we have to send you a picture about what we did, or it's
Yes,
not
exactly.
necessary?
Yes.
Okay.
What you have to do is to print this out, right? And you imitate the symbols, right? As I told you. And then you take pictures, right, of both pages. And for that, there's an app called Cam Scanner. I don't know if you know it.
Yes.
Let me write it on the chat window.
But how do you send that?
Cam Scanner. Yeah. You have that ready, right, for next Wednesday. On Wednesday, I'm going to teach you how you have to send that to me, right? Because you have to use a section in our virtual classroom which is called activities, right? But I want to show you that with an example, right? I haven't prepared that for today, right? But next week I'll do, right? But have your pictures ready for next Wednesday, right? And on Wednesday, next Wednesday, I'm going to show you how to upload your homework, right? So that I can correct it. Okay?
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I couldn't make out what you just said. We take a picture and then for next Wednesday we wait till the lesson and you're going to teach us and then we send it?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, perfect.
Exactly. Exactly. Great.
So
Yeah,
we
thank you.
don't have to send this
No,
right
not
away.
yet. No, no,
Okay.
no. You wait until next Wednesday, right? But have everything ready, right? I mean, your pictures, have them ready, right? So, right, so that I can teach you how to send them to me via the virtual classroom. The thing is that as this platform is new to you, I want to go, step by step, right? There's no need to rush yet, right? Let's not get crazy. Not yet. We will in due time, right? And what else can I tell you about this lesson? No, I think that's all about it. Yeah. Great. So have you got any questions, doubts, comments?
No.
Is there anything you would like to say? No?
I
Yeah.
did it last year. That copy. Can I send you that, or I have to do it again?
No, please do it again.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, please. Yeah. Well, shall we call it a day then?
I think so.
Okay. Are you tired?
Maybe.
Maybe. so.
A little.
Okay. Have you enjoyed our second lesson?
Yes, very much.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
It's a lot
See
of
you next
new
week then.
information.
Sorry?
That it's a lot of new information, so it can
Yes,
be a
I
bit
know.
overwhelming.
I know.